Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Krashy, and today we got a lot of details and things to go over. We have detailed patch notes, but as well as some other little news bits and things that we're going to be looking at. So let's go ahead and dive into it. This is UniteDB putting out the actual detailed patch notes. We always look forward to seeing this because we see what actually changes and we can get a little bit more context as opposed to the initial wave of patch notes that we get. So let's blow through this. We're really looking at numbers. ABSOL, he got the stats change was lifesteal, so new, 5% at level 5, 10% at level 9, so a little bit of lifesteal for ABSOL. And then apparently Psycho Cut now procs off Night Slash hits and Unite move, which I didn't know that Psycho Cut didn't proc off Night Slash, but I'm going to be honest, I almost never played Night Slash and Psycho Cut. I was pretty sure that Psycho Cut procced off of Pursuit, so yeah, I guess this makes sense to me. So Psycho Cut, I think, is a much more viable move for Night Slash and for ABSOL in general. So that could be really, really good, especially with how fast it is, and it does pretty damn good damage. So as for Pursuit, the attack range is increased by 0.5 meters, I suppose, most likely. And then the slow is increased by 10%. So pretty nice. Crustal, I don't really read their notes, by the way, sorry. If you want to read them, you can. Rock Tomb slow, new, 40%. Okay. Rock Tomb Plus, slow is 40% to 60%. Stealth Rock projectile speed increase. That's cool. I don't think this is going to do anything for Crustal at all. And Charizard getting nerfed again, crazy change, but looking at it, it doesn't seem too bad, I suppose. Ratio 150% down to 132%. That's a pretty small change. The base goes down 160 to 145. So a flat, 15 damage reduction here with a small percentage scaling reduction. Flamethrower Plus 176 down to 156 per level, slightly reduced per level, and then the base, flat 20 damage difference. So again, why does this need this nerf? Don't know. Couldn't tell you. I really don't. Fire Blast slow from 50% down to 35%. So just general efficacy of Charizard is lower, and that's that. It's really not that huge, but just weird. Serena Stomp ratio 196.52% down to 182 or 180.87%. So 16% difference roughly. Same per level, and then the base goes down just slightly. So that's an okay-ish nerf. It's not actually that big, but it's it's there. For Stomp, that was kind of stomping, so not bad, I'd say. Per level, slight change, and then base, slight change, and then of course Stomp Plus, the numbers are just higher, but slight nerfs here as well. 226 down to 208, 12 per level down to 11, base 280 down to 260, with Queenly 361 down to 332, 19 per level down to 18, and then base 448 to 416. So this actually seems like a pretty reasonable nerf. With how strong Stomp was, it's not a massive swing, right? We're not seeing 196 down to like 160%. That would be bad for like the attack stat scaling, running like a weakness policy attack weight or something. These numbers are still big, so that's good. I think this is going to still feel fine. You'll probably play Serena and not even notice it, really. Snorlax Sp Defense. Let's just look at the high end, right? Like Sp Defense 400 has now changed to like 440. So small Sp Defense increase. There might be some bigger spikes in here, but I'm like at certain levels, but I'm not really going to look at all of them. So just, TLDR, small Sp Defense increase. Heavy Slam cooldown reduced by 1 second. Block cooldown reduced by, 2 seconds. Which is good, that's good. And then the Unite move goes from 128 second recharge to 112 seconds. I don't think that in adding cooldowns, because that's basically what this does, I don't think giving cooldowns to a character that doesn't really have a highly effective kit is going to make them viable. Like Heavy Slam block is very good, but the character it wasn't that their kit was off cooldown too much, I don't think that's the problem. So I don't think this is going to change Snorlax's position in the meta at all. Having a faster Unite move, that's cool, I guess. As for Espeon, probably the biggest winner of this patch here. Psyshock first hit ratio, 72% to 79%, so not a crazy scaling change. Per level, a little bit more damage per level. Base, a little bit more damage on the base hit. And then subsequent hits, so the ratio slightly increased per level, slightly increased base. So this is a tiny buff for Psyshock, but Psyshock was really good. Psybeam, 1 second stun to 1.25 second stuns. 0.25 seconds on a stun is like, that's not negligible. That's pretty decent. The ratio increases from 69%, nice, to 91%. Per level is 10 up to 13. The base 410 up to 540. So Psybeam getting a pretty nice buff, it looks like. That's pretty good. Stored power. This, I didn't have a chance to try it out, but first hit ratio 52% to 64%. a nice buff. Per level goes up by 2. Base goes up by a decent amount, small amount. Ratio goes up a little bit. Per level goes up a little bit. Base goes up a little bit. So I think Espeon, they're just taking it kind of like from doing this much damage to doing like this much damage. It's not some crazy leap, but we could see this being played, or at least a little bit more effective in solo queue. Espeon's got a really cool ult, and that's what it's always been kind of good for. And it just didn't really do enough damage to kind of complement that ult and the like low mobility playstyle. Pikachu got spell vamp from 12.5% spell vamp at level 9. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I don't think it's going to change anything with Pikachu really, but that's neat, Mamoswine, Icicle Crash, and Ice Fang cooldowns coming down. It's the same thing as Snorlax. I do not think this is enough to improve the overall efficacy of the character. They're not bringing enough to the table with the kits that they have over other characters. So like reducing their cooldowns on what they have, unless it's a big substantial change, like you're throwing Icicle Crashes every 3 seconds or something, I just don't see it. So that's good for this character though. And then apparently there was a burn bug fix where now burn on Scald for Slowbro, now burning all ticks instead of just 2. So pretty light patch, man. Pretty light patch. Just to give my thoughts on it, I think it's silly that we don't see any Hoopa, Lucario, no Zeraora, no significant changes to some of these tanks that we're seeing. Crustle, Mamoswine. I don't even know what to say, man. I think this patch is pretty much an L. Pretty much an L, unfortunately. But let's move on to the other topics. We have the Japanese Twitter saying from 1600 June 20th, Monday, when a member of your team is defeated by leaving it maliciously during battle, you can now earn additional active master points. Please check the following for details. So this is the Japanese website. It's a little confusing because of translation, but we're going to look at another post here in a second. You can earn additional active points / master points after the game ends when the following conditions are met. Members on your team left maliciously during the battle. So this condition, how like whenever someone's AFK and they're spinning around, nothing happens. How when they leave, you can report them, they lose fair play points. It's going to be that, right? It's going to be like when the game can clearly tell they're not there. So if they left maliciously, like clearly, y'all got defeated, and I'm not sure, and it's like, and if you played aggressively until the end, and basically they're just trying to say good sportsmanship, I suppose. The energy rewards master points you can earn depend on your rank. It is not applicable if you have formed a group with a player who left maliciously, so don't go into battle with someone that's quitting, essentially. In the game, only the decrease results of an active points / master points will be reflected. When you haven't earned active master points, you will be notified by email. We will continue to improve detection accuracy and malicious neglect. So essentially, they're saying, hey, we're going to go after this, right? Like we don't like that this is happening in our game. So we actually have this post, and shout out to Twisted in my Discord. He sent me some of this information, and I wasn't sure if I was going to make a video on it because I had already kind of seen it, but I think it's good. It's a good update to let everybody know. So I'm not actually sure what website this is from, but essentially it's kind of like a translation. In addition to balance patch above, Pokemon Unite has also updated how they deal with griefers and quitters in ranked. A player will still earn ranked points even if the team is defeated if a member of the team quits mid-game if the player plays until the end. So essentially, if someone really does quit, and I mean really quits, you should be good. That's a tiny step in the right direction. A tiny step in the right direction. I think there's a lot of steps in the right direction we need to take for this game. A lot of steps in the right direction. So, and then this is what the mail message looks like. Team idling during battle. It has been confirmed that during a recent battle, gives you the time and date, one or more of your teammates found via matchmaking has been idling. We're working to more strictly control this type of behavior moving forward. Furthermore, in return, we have increased your master rank rating by 3. I wonder what affects this number. I wonder how much this changes. Is it just kind of like a semi payback system? I'm curious because they probably built this system, so this maybe took them a little bit of time to build. So kudos to them for building a system like this where it's like a little bit of loss forgiveness. I wonder if it's like 100% loss forgiveness, percentage based. I don't know, but we hope you continue to enjoy playing Pokemon Unite. So it's a good step, like I said, in the right direction. Definitely can appreciate that. But there you have it, the official patch notes. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Friends, thank you so much for watching. I definitely do appreciate it. Like the video, subscribe for future Pokemon Unite content. As always, be sure to be kind to one another. Plus, when you love them. See you in the next video.